Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first official class of the web development. I held a live section on a Google Meet meeting, I guess. So I talked about the introduction of web development, the history of web development, how a website would look like without a CSS, and that means the styles, without JavaScript, without it, like the site will not properly be arranged properly. So this is the beginning. So there are some tools that I would like us to download. So I'm doing it now because I do want to post it on WhatsApp for you to download, because you might maybe have time find the link, or you might be confused about some certain things. That's why I'm doing it. I'm showing it on this this video. Okay. I just want to check if I'm recording. I don't want to make any mistake. So these tools are things that these are the recent modern things that developers have. So tools like GitHub, that shows your portfolio, that shows all the projects that you have done. So if a client comes to you and say, kindly show us the work you've done, like client can also be a programmer. So like he wants to see the code. So you show your GitHub profile of you. So how do you push your code to GitHub? So you would use something called a virtual control, like a terminal called Git. So there are many others, but Git is the mostly used virtual control for you to like connect to GitHub. So you can take Git as so let us download this first. So you just say download Git. So this is it. This is what I'm saying, like, might be confusing. This is Git SCM, but this is the Git. So download it. So if you're using Mac, Linux, anyone. So I'm using Windows. So this is a new system. That's why I'm showing everything new. So I won't have it installed already. So I'm just going to install it. I'm using 64 bits. So you can take Git as a time travel. So you don't take like real life. You messed up and you want to like go to the past to like fix what you did. You can just but it's not possible in real life. But Git gives you this control. How they call it, virtual control. In this version control, it gives you this power to like go to the back, apply the changes that you want to do, and continue. So let me open the folder and install it. Let me run as administrator and install it. Okay. Just next, 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 and install. So on that thing, I don't know if you have not read what I posted on WhatsApp, you could just do this also. Download vscode. Visual Studio Code. So the last session I was talking about an IDE where you write code, where how your code comes to the website. It's called something called IDE, Integrated Development Environment. These are things that has this attribute that when you write a code, it shows like a website. So those things, it's called IDE, and one of them is Visual Studio. We have Atom, we have Sublime Text, we have Notepad++, but in this class we'll be using the VS Code. And just download it like this. Okay, start download. So git bash, let me just launch it. Git bash is done. Let me launch it. So this is how it looks like a terminal. You see? So another thing that I want us to download is, let's okay, this which Virtual Studio Code is still running. So another thing I want us to download too is the node. Just say download node. Though we don't need node in this beginner class, so let me open this folder and install VS Code also. Just run an administrator. Yes. What is this saying? Okay. I accept. Next. Next. Yes, add to paths. Yeah, you can also put this also, so that if you right click on a folder, you can just open the folder straight on VS Code. You'll see what I'm talking about. Also create a desktop icon. So let it install. So let us download Node. The next thing we are downloading is Node. So we just download Node. So let me use this, the first link. I can just download this, the first one. So in this, so this node is not really needed in the beginner class, but sorry about the back. Even if we are hearing background noise, sorry about that. I'm using this new system. That's why you could hear background noise. So let's open folder and install it. Run as administrator. This one does not have. Okay, so you can just run it directly. Next. Accept. Next. And next. Install. Yeah. So this node is, because as we advance into our class, we will be going through frameworks like React, Next, and these things need Node for it to work. So that I'm just installing it down. So you could just install all these tools down so that you won't start installing it later. Or if it's later, still works. But just try and install it now. Please, I'd like to check if this thing is also running again. Okay, is it? Yeah, it's still working. Because that would be. So now I've installed it, I can just close this, and close Git also. So another thing I want you to download. So you might download it, you might not download it, but the first thing to do is to register, to sign up on GitHub. I was saying it in the beginning of this class that if a client tells you that you want to see your portfolio, you want to see your code, how you write code, you have to show him your GitHub account. So you just type GitHub. So just register github.com. So me, I've registered already, so I'll just click on sign in, but you could just click on sign up and follow the necessary prompts. But I'll just click on sign in. This is my username, my password. I'll sign in. Okay, I have two-factor authenticator. It's like put the authentication code. Give me a minute. Authentication code. Let me pause Oh, I have to go to my macros or my authenticator. I've not forgotten that. So let me just put my authenticator. Oh, that one has gone. Okay. All right. We are back. Okay. So this is how GitHub looks like. So you could go to dashboard. I can go to my profile. So this is how my profile is. As you can see, this is how GitHub looks like generally. So if I this one they call repository, in repo in short, is how you is so your project, take your project as a repo. So your project folder, take that as a repo. For example, let's say this, for example, logistics app. Let's say for example logistics app. You see how it looks like. So it has this public folder there, src folder and all this. So inside this src folder there are many folders and files inside. So as someone can just check this and see, okay, how did you structure this? So this is a code, this is code, these are codes. Okay, you can see how you write clean and all of that. So GitHub is like a repo, like a folder portfolio. It houses all your works. It shows what you've done. You get it? That's it. So I think the Node.js would have worked. Okay, and the VS Code. So let's launch VS Code now. So what I would want you to do is that, okay, let me just use anyone. This VS, let me just use the dark. I like dark theme. I don't know. I mean, you could just do this Python. Okay. I'll do this later. Let me just quit this. I'll do this later. So what I want you to do is that you could open a folder. We call it web dev tutorial. Dev tutorial. So inside the web dev tutorial, you could have week 1 to whatever, but this is like week 1 right now. So you could just put week 1. Something like this. So this is what I'm talking about. So if I right click on this folder and I click on show more options, I will see open with code. And once I do that, it will open that folder for me. Okay, it's already running as an administrator. Let me close this. So you could actually do this. You could actually open folder like this, go to desktop, go to web dev tutorial, week 1, and open the folder. You would see it there. This is a week. Okay, trust. This is week 1 folder. So you could put many things here. But another way you could do it is you could right click on this folder, show more options, and open with code. Either way is fine. But so that way is faster because Let's say you're looking for a folder, you want to just look for it first in your file explorer. And once you've seen it, you don't have to like start looking for it in your VS Code again. You could just right click and open with code on like that from there. So what I want you to do is to click on this thing here that says new file and save it as index.html. Though it can be anything, but the extension has to be HTML. Yes, index.html. So this instead of HTML, it starts with the version of the HTML. So we are currently in version 5 of the HTML. And how do we start? We start by opening the icon tag, anchor tag, and this is saying, it's even showing here that is write this doc type. This means it's an HTML5 version. This is how you specify the HTML version first. Another thing that HTML has is tags. Remember all the headings I talked about in the last class, heading, paragraph, those normal site. When you look at the site, you see the headings, you see the paragraph, you see links, you see images. They are called tags, and they are closing tags and they are self-closing tags. What do I mean by that? For example, if you want to open, so this is a structure of HTML now. The next thing you're going to open now is the HTML itself, the HTML tag. So you press enter, open HTML like this, then close it. You see that it closed by itself. You see this thing? It closed by itself. And how do you close it? So after you open HTML, you close it by a slash. That is a closing tag. So the structure of an HTML file, it starts with the version of this of the HTML. Then you open HTML tag. So inside the HTML tag, you open the body. The body tag. Oh, body tag is also a closing tag. So I can decide to write an heading. Let me say, so H1, this is a heading. Though I'll still talk about the self-closing tag. I'm just talking about this closing tag for the moment. So you could go back to your file. So how do you open this? You go back to your file. Oh, first of all, you have to save it. So once you see this white stuff on your VS Code, this white stuff that is showing on the index.html, see the right? You see that before I hover on it, you can see this white stuff, this white circle on it at the right. It means it's not saved. So when you press Ctrl S, you see it's saved now. It's saved now. So you make sure you always save before you leave your VS Code. Then go to your folder. It'll be one. You can see that the index.html is there. So you could actually open with Google Chrome. So I want to be using Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. You can see it has, this is a heading, or this is an heading, N1. So H1 is an heading tag. These are called tags or elements. So let me go back to VS Code. So and we have H1 to H6, and H1 to H6 is in sizes. So I'm going to show you. So H1 is the biggest heading you could have, though you could increase it, but it's the biggest heading. But H2 to down to H6, they are reducing by the number. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So let me just copy this, or let me just copy this, Ctrl C, and open an H2. Put this is heading 2, and put this is heading 1, do another one. This is heading 3. Do another one. This is heading, why am I right typing it? Heading 4. This is heading 5. Stopped at 6. You can't have more than 6. Heading 6. So let's save it. Remember, there's still this white stuff that is showing, because I want to leave this place to check Chrome about what you just did now. So you have to save it by pressing Ctrl S and go back to your Chrome or your browser and hit the refresh button. So you can see that it's decreasing by the number. So H6 is the smallest. So I'm going to teach you how to push your code like I did for a repo. Let's say this one. I'm going to show you how to push your code, because these things are so developers just they know how to build, they don't know how to like document what they built, like this portfolio that I'm showing you. And so we're going to like be using the best practices as from now. That's why I'm telling you to like create an account on GitHub. I'm going to show you how to like use Git to like push your code to your GitHub account. You get it? So by the end of this web development, I'm going to build a capstone project where we do HTML, CSS. So that's first of all, when we've done HTML and CSS, we'll build a project on that alone. Then when we do HTML, CSS and JavaScript, we'll build a project on that. Then we'll now use a framework. So we'll use React on Next.js. Then we'll do a project on that. So we can have the best queue for that, for this course. And you can do anything. So if you see anything, like for example, if you see this site now, you can decide that I can create this, just give me this time, I will do this stuff. So just with time, I can see senior devs here. I said it already. So just pay attention, keep your motivation high. So the thing about this is that so as you are learning, your motivation kind of keep dropping. I'm going to tell you the truth, but what you have to do is increase it. That you want to learn, you want to upskill. Yeah, so everybody feels that tutorial stuff. So but you have to just increase your motivation, be determined that you have to be skillful. So the next tag I'm going to be talking about, or elements I'm going to be talking about, is the paragraph tag. You just open it, is a p tag. It's called paragraph tag. So you can just see this is a paragraph. So the opening tag, the closing tag, it also has a slash. So inside you just say this is a paragraph. So when we go back to our Chrome and hit the refresh button, you should see this is a paragraph tag. Oh, it's not there. I guess we'll have to quit it and refresh again. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. We didn't save. So let's hit it Ctrl S. So that you need to save every time. Though there's a setting that makes you save after you leave the VS Code. That I'm so used to it. That's why I left the VS Code without saving. Sorry about that. But there's a setting like that you can use to like do that. So this is a paragraph. Add a tag for that. So another tag. So let's stop at that. Let me just go into self-closing tag. For example, okay, before I go that, let me just talk about the link tag. So for you to create a link tag, you open the tag. The tag is an A tag, like this. Then what do you want to put? Let's say this is a link. So you would see, let me Control S, go back to Chrome and see how it is. So you can see this is a link, but nothing is working. But a link has a link. What do I mean by that? You need to like put where it's going to, where is it referencing to. When you click on this, where is it going to? So by doing that, you have to put attributes. So there's an attribute that a tag has. A tag means anchor link. It's called href. Means that what link do you want to put inside? So I can say I want to put www.google.com. So let's Control S and go back. Let's hit refresh. You can see that it turned blue. That's because I put the href. And once you click on it, it goes to www.google.com. But it's saying it cannot be accessed. So it's going to www.google.com. You can see that, but it shouldn't like. So we can just do this http. You can also do that //www.google.com. I think that should work. Okay. Oh, I didn't hit the save button. Control S. Go back there and hit refresh. See? Goes to google.com. So all this stuff here, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, I see that is blue, it's kind of blue. So these are links. When you click on it, it takes you somewhere. When you click on it, it takes you somewhere. So almost everything are links on a page. Privacy, terms, setting, how search works, everything clickable like links. So you just put the href. This is where you're going to go to. Later on we'll just go into CSS and how we style things. But I want you to first understand HTML. It's just an easy structure of the page. It's not that hard. So in fact, most of us will even finish HTML in one day. Not even joking. So if you want to actually learn more about HTML, you can just go to W3 Schools. That's where most developer learns it. W3 Schools. See HTML tutorial. So you could just also follow that, and then just go to W3 Schools, go to the HTML section, and continue your learning there. You can see HTML tutorial there. But let's continue. So let me talk about the self-closing tag. So an example of a self-closing tag would be the image tag. The image tag does not have, and how do you specify an image tag is img. It does not have any closing tag. It doesn't. So first of all, I want to put a picture here so that I can show it on the browser. So let me go to my file explorer. Let me see if I can get an image from here. So let me take this, Ctrl C, go into my week 1 folder and paste it here. So how do you specify image? Oh, mistake here. So you specify by using else src. It's even showing you here. Then the name slash. So as I press slash, it showed the available things that I want to do. So this is the name of the folder of the image, img6599. You can see it at the left here too. So you can just press enter, or you click on it. Let's hit the save button and let's check it out. Wow, it's not showing. We need so many. So number one thing of a developer is you will always encounter errors. It's just how you solve them. So probably the image is not showing. Or something is broken, or I'm making mistake in the link. Can you see? But it's too big. Too big. Too big. But it's too big. So the mistake I made, thank God you are seeing me make mistakes. So that's the thing. It's been long I've actually created an HTML tag because I don't really work with HTML again. I work with the framework of React and Next. But nevertheless, these error things are the things you face every day as a developer. You always face these small tiny things, these small little things of something. So the mistake was I made was that I didn't put the dots. So if you want to specify, because it's in this directory, I mean in this week one folder, you write dot first, then the slash, then to show you the image, then click OK, then Control S, go to your browser, refresh, and you see the image. So we can also reduce the size. You can use the width. You can say maybe 50, the height, or maybe 52. So I can click on save, and let's check it and refresh. You can see that it's smaller now. That's how to specify width. But people don't really use width and height in the image tag in HTML. So you use CSS to like do all of that, but you could also do that in HTML. It's not that hard. So what I want to show you again is that look at this GitHub. You can see this title called the Diamond ID. That's my username / assessment. That means I'm in my assessments repo. But how does it know? But how can you put it here? So the only way you can put it there is that there's a tag called head. There's a tag called head, so you could put it here. You put it in before the body head, then close it. Oh, made mistake. Head, then you close it. So inside the head, you could so inside the head, if you want to specify that title, there's a tag called title. So what title do you want to give? Let's say you want to give it, let's say Inox Hub. So let's click on the save and go back to our browser and refresh. You can see that it has changed to Inox Hub. So that's how you can change the title of a page. How you can change the title of a page. So if you have another page, so in later classes we'll discuss on how we can open another page, how to link a page together. So another tag I can show you too is list. So for example, you want to list items, let's say fruit. So list can either be on ordered list or ordered list. So for ordered list, they are the 1, 2, 3, or the Roman numerals, the Roman figures like the IV and all of that. But the unordered list is just dots. It just uses dots, like no numbers, nothing to use to like quantify it or to atomize it. So you start with, say let's say that you want to list an ordered list, unordered list. You open the tag, it's called UL, meaning unordered list. You close it, you open it by pressing enter. Then what are the items? Then the way we do that is using li. That means the list items. So what are these fruits? I can say mango. Let me copy this and paste it like 1 or 2 times or 3 times. So I can say this is banana. I can say this is cherry. So I can say this is what again? Berries, or just berry in short. So let's save it. Let's go to our browser, hit the refresh button. So you can see that it's just dot 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 dot. So let me just put an heading there saying that this is another list. So let's put let me just use h3. This is an unordered list. So this is the save button. Go back, refresh button. So you can see this is an unordered list. So let's talk about the ordered list. Now one starts with, let's just first put the h3 and say this is an ordered list. So next one is the ordered list. So start with OL, close it, open it, enter, then LI, like how we did that one. So mango, banana, cherry, berry. Let's Control S, go back, it's the refresh button. So you can see that this one starts with 1, 2, 3. You can see that it's ordered, but this is not ordered. That's why it's on ordered list, and this is ordered list. So I think I'm going to stop there. So we'll just have one more class on HTML. So we'll just talk about maybe table and how to link other sites to it. Then the next week we'll just we'll go to CSS, so now we can style our website. So before I stop the video, let's look at how we can push this code to production, to GitHub. Sorry, I use production. That will call it now. So let's look at how we can push this to GitHub. So as you've opened it, after you have opened your GitHub, you go to your profile here, or not, don't go to your profile yet. Click on this plus icon that says create new. See, create new repository. Click on that. It will tell you list of things to like put. So what repo name do you want to name it? So you could name it anything. Let me just name it web dev begin. And the web dev begin. I can put it as public or as private if you want people to see it. So you can see anybody's code if it's public. So you can see anybody's code. So you can put it as private. That means only you can see it. So anyone that works fine for you. So I'm going to leave it as public, and I'll just click on create new, create repository. So after that, you go down, you see this. It gives you these following steps to put. It's saying that if you want to create a new repository, you do this. Like you just created a new repository that you want to use the command line, you do this. But if you have a repository before, so you use these steps. But since we don't have a repository before, and we just created this new repository, so we are going to follow this. So you can skip this first part. Skip this first part. The next one we are going to do is this one. So how can we do it? You can go to your VS Code. You can go on I think it's run. No, or go view. So yeah, it's on view. You can see terminal. So you open your terminal. But now it's in PowerShell. So you can click on this. Change. Is it change terminal here? Okay, no time change terminal. Or you can click on this icon. See git bash. The one that we just downloaded. You can click on it. You can delete this one. This git bash is, you see that it's colorful and it's interesting. So the first step is to do git init. So you can copy it, Ctrl C. So you can just right click it to paste it. Can you see? Without me hitting Ctrl V. So you just press enter. It wrote initialized empty repository in this folder link in your computer. So the next one is to do git add readme.md. But mind you, you can't use git add readme.md. So this readme.md is just a file. It's just like saying git add index.html without putting the image that is here. But there are two things here, so you can just put only one thing. So for you to like put the two things, just press dot after add. So git add space dot. When you do that, it has automatically added these two. For you to see that it has added, you can just check git status. Can you see? But let us derive from our steps. The first step is to do git init. Second one is to do git add space dot. So after that, you follow the next step, git commit. So it starts with git commit -m. This -m means message. Then what message do you want to give? So it will be first. So the thing wrote first commit. So in string. So this quote that is wrapped around the word, the sentence, is called string. So the reason why they are putting this is for other developers to also see why you did this commit. Yeah. So let's say that it's not only you that is working on a particular project. So it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be hundreds, with thousands of developers working on a particular project. So if I see a change, just by the highlight of it, just say that you click on the news now, see a news headline. Hey, Mbappe did not score. Or what Mbappe said after this match. You can't believe Mbappe said this after this match. So that's like the headline. It's just headline before you click on the whole news. So this is like the headline before clicking on the whole commit. So it will explain like what you did. So you can just leave it as first commit. This is our first commit that we did. Or we could just say introduction. So you can just remove it and put introduction to web dev. So when other developers see it, you will see that, oh, this is the introduction to web dev. Let me click on it and see, okay, what changes this person make. So you can just click on enter. So if you see this error, it's not an error, it's a warning. You see auto identity unknown, please tell me who you are. So you are trying to like do git commit, it's not knowing you, like what are you trying to do. Don't be afraid. So you just run this thing. It says run these two things. So let's run the first one. So we paste it, but this is not my email, so I can just clean it and put my email. At gmail.com. So I'll just click on enter and do the run second one. Paste it, clean it, I'll put my name itself, enter. So we can now try that commit stuff that we did earlier, this one. We can try it again. So you can either copy it, or we can hit the up key on our keyboard. Just hit the up key. You see it shows this is not what we want. Hit the up key again. This is not what we want. Hit the up key again. Like it shows you this. So you can just press enter. Yeah, that worked. You see, it say create mode for this image and create mode for this index.html. Let's go to the next step. Git branch this. Don't just really worry about this. So if you are finding it difficult to like understand what is happening, don't worry. If you do it like 1,000 times, you will not remember again, because it's not this only project you are going to build for yourself. When you are doing things over and over again, you might not even understand it like first 2 times, but when you train it again, you just kind of understand it. So it's just a repeated stuff. Enter you create a repo, you just always do this. So git branch -m main, it means he changed the branch. He created the branch and he changed the branch. Look at this, it was a master before, but now he changed it to main. You can see that now it's the main. Git remote this. So you don't need to like understand this, like what is trying to say first. So as time goes on, you understand. So this pushing is just like, okay, push all this code, push it online, push it to GitHub. Just click on enter. We're saying to sign in with your browser. I hope my default browser is set to Chrome, because that's where I opened my GitHub. So let me go to Chrome, Google Chrome, set to default. Okay, so let me sign in with my browser. Okay, it has signed in, so I can remove this tab. So it's trying to push. I guess the image is large. It's still pushing. So it has finished pushing. So you go to your GitHub again, these steps, you just watch the magic as I click on refresh. See, it has created both the image and the file that we are working on. And look at the commit I was talking about, the commit message, intro to introduction to web dev. So once a developer sees this that you did something, it would see like this. It will show you the minutes that you did it, the long, the hours or the minutes, the time that you did it, like an hour ago or 8 minutes ago, something like that. So when you click on our index.html, you can see the whole code that we wrote. Or when you click a particular commit message, we can see what files that we worked on. So it means that we changed these two files. We added these two files. That's what we worked on. So with that being said, we've come to the end of the class. So what did we learn? We learned about, first of all, which we downloaded the tools that we needed, the kit. We downloaded Node, though we didn't use Node. It's not time for Node. We downloaded, so we signed up for GitHub, where is a portfolio for developers to showcase our code. Then we learned about the HTML tags, how HTML is being structured, the closing tag, the self-closing tag, the image tag, how we can put the source of the image tag, and how we can push our code online. So for example, now if I want to give you this code for you people to download, so in the next class I'm going to teach you on how to download this code back to our folder. So if I want to give you this code now, I can just copy this link. So let me open it on incognito, copy this link, put it here. That means anybody can just see this code, and it's just online. So it's not that it's on my laptop, but anything can happen to your laptop. It can spoil, so it's better to save it here. So anybody can just see it here. When you give the link, they can download it, they can do something to it. So I'll just do that in the next class. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Always remember the sky is our starting point. So we have things to cover, we have places to go. So thanks for watching. See you in the next class.